And I think many people are suffering because of their health. And it all relates, it's mind, body, soul. Any of those are off, your life is gonna be off. Imagine me, a kid from Texas who came here with nothing. My first call was Sylvester Stallone when I was working with Hugh Jackman for Wolverine.
I have an exciting guest today in the studio. He's a celebrity fitness trainer, and he does so many different things. Rehan Jalali. Our today's guest, Rehan Jalali, published nationally and internationally over 500 articles on nutrition and supplementation. He research, developed, and marketed over 150 health and fitness products over the last 25 years, yielding sales to over 150 million globally. Ranked as one of the top 2 supplement experts in the United States, according to Men's Fitness Magazine and Washington Post. Ranked as one of the top 5 nutritionists in the world, according to USA Today, Muscle and Fitness Magazine, and the Times of India. He's a film producer and actor, international keynote and TEDx speaker. He developed customized nutrition and supplementation programs for Oscar-winning actors, Emmy award-winning TV stars, and Grammy-winning musicians. He is a host of a popular CBS radio show here in Los Angeles. What would you say to somebody who struggles, they're overweight?
To get started and keep going. So the most important thing I would tell them is that do something.
So how do you stay consistent?
I think the most important thing to maintain that is goal setting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Live with Purpose. I'm your host, Anna Lawson, and we are so excited to have you here today on this journey of discovering your life purpose. We will, in this episode, specifically dive into goal setting and self-reflection. I believe that everyone deserves to know their purpose in life, first of all. So when you have that main intention that drives your behavior, you can prioritize differently and you will know what to do daily in order to get closer to what you want to achieve. So we want to have that clear vision of where we want to go in order to get there. In this episode today, we are diving into the transformative world of self-reflection and goal setting. Have you ever felt like your days are slipping by without a clear sense of purpose or direction? Well, you are not alone. It's really essential for all of us to pause and to really articulate for ourselves what we want to achieve in our lives. By identifying our goals, we can prioritize and align our daily actions to make those goals a reality. Whether you're looking to advance in your career, improve your relationships, or simply find more joy in your everyday routine, self-reflection is a powerful tool. And remember, you have the power to create the life that aligns with your true self. Keep nurturing your journey with love and intention. So I have an exciting guest today in the studio. He's a celebrity fitness trainer, and he does so many different things. Rehan Jalali. Hi, Rehan. So great to have you here today.
So great to be here, Anna. I love the positivity, the energy, the vibes. I can't wait to talk more.
So tell the audience a little bit about your journey and how you actually started.
Wow, it started a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I've been here a long time. I always say it took me 25 years to become an overnight success. You know, and you've struggled and you've gone through it and you've achieved greatness. Anybody who's achieved greatness, it takes time. It takes patience. So my journey started off in the bodybuilding world. So I was competing in bodybuilding. I became a champion bodybuilder. I understood nutrition, health, wellness, and the power of it. And I, was competing. I was on ESPN. So I had whole other life before this life. And so after competing, when I retired, I said, listen, my purpose has to be helping people look and feel better. Like I was an accounting major at the University of Texas in Austin. And I said, accounting? I can't count numbers all day. This is crazy. It wasn't my thing at all. So I said, listen, I transformed my body. I'm going to help everybody look and feel better. That's going to be my purpose in life, is to improve health and wellness. So I started on that journey. I became an expert in the field, started getting recognition. While my friends were all partying, I was in the medical library studying, researching, understanding the science and all that. And then I moved to LA. I got an opportunity to work as a startup company. I mean, can you imagine, this is a crazy opportunity in Los Angeles. And for me, LA was like a dream. Was like, oh, Hollywood, do people live there? Like, what? No, who lives in Hollywood? That's a Universal Studios. That's a place to visit for vacation, right? Yeah. Disneyland. And then I was like, wait, move to LA. And then everybody said, don't do it.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
As you know,
yeah.
Everybody.
And then you...
And I jumped. And I said, I'm going to burn the boats and say, this is it. It's do or die. And I said, I took a big risk. I had a great job at that time in Florida at Rexall Sundown. I was a product formulator. My background is biochemistry and nutrition, so I was doing product formulations and a great job, secure, 9 to 5, the usual. And everybody's like, no, that's safe. Why are you taking a risk? You're jumping. What are you doing? And I said, no, I'm gonna do it. And everybody said, don't do it. And I said, okay, I'm gonna show you. And I came to LA with nothing, had no contacts, just literally moved here and said, I'm gonna do it. And then I started, we sold that company after a year. And then I just became kind of an expert in the field. I was writing for the magazines. I was on TV, as an expert in nutrition and health and fitness and training. And then my first call out of the blue was Sylvester Stallone, Rocky himself.
So hold on. I know that you worked with A-list celebrities like Ben Affleck, Sylvester Stallone. So how did that happen?
That's exactly what happened. Was the craziest story ever, because people always ask me like, oh, did you start at the bottom? Did you grind your way up? Did you, work? And then eventually I started at the top, and thank God. I was so blessed to have my first phone call I ever got from anybody that was a celebrity was Sylvester Stallone. He calls me up on the cell phone, the old Nextel, the flip phone, but hello. So I get this call from freaking Rocky. I mean, I'm the guy that's doing push-ups, watching Rocky, my legend, my hero, and then he's on the phone with me.
And so, how did he see you somewhere on the new, like?
Okay, yeah.
That's where we were going.
Oh, it's yeah. People always ask like, how do you? So what happened was, so he calls. First of all, he calls me, and he's like, hey, real Sly Stallone. And I said, wait a minute, Sly Stallone. I'm like, who's playing a prank on me? This is
that's what
I hung up. I hung up on Sylvester Stallone. I hung up on Sly. That's my claim to fame. I hung up on Stallone.
Okay, that's funny.
And then he calls back. Hey, I think we got disconnected. I go, who is this? He's like, no, this is. He's like, you ever heard of Rocky? That's what he said. He goes, you ever heard of Rocky? I'm like, yeah, I heard of Rocky. He actually said that to me. I was like, yeah, Stallone, Rocky. I'm like, yeah, I know who you are, but is this really you? He's like, yeah, it's me. He got my number through a friend of mine who basically told him about my expertise in product formulation, marketing of supplements. He was starting a supplement company, and he saw my articles in all the magazines, Men's Health, Men's Fitness at the time. And so he goes, man, I know you're an expert in the field. I'm starting a nutrition company. I want you to come on board with me. And so I started working with him personally, and he literally opened up all of Hollywood for me. And imagine Stallone introducing you to Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, like every big celebrity. Like I was around Al Pacino. I mean, I was around all of them. And imagine me, a kid from Texas who came here with nothing, sitting at Stallone's house, looking at the Rocky statue. I was like, is this a dream? And so that's how it all started, the Hollywood part.
What an amazing story. At that time when you were starting, did you have any manifestation, any vision ever to work with A-list celebrities or a celebrity like him? Did you ever think of, or it literally just happened?
That's a great question, actually. Absolutely not. My dream growing up in Texas was to have a white picket fence, make $70,000 a year, and work a 9-to-5 job and have a family. That was my ultimate dream. So I always say I couldn't even dream this big. If I went back now to that age as a kid growing up and told what I was doing now, you'd be like, that's impossible. There's no way. So there was no manifestation. It just basically happened. But I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of believing in yourself. I think belief in yourself is the most important thing. And that's something I was instilled at an early age, is you got to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in you, no one's going to believe in you. And Michael Jordan has a great quote that says, I never lost a game. I just ran out of time. That belief of like, look, I'm a winner, And so I always had that through bodybuilding or whatever. And so even though I didn't dream about this or think about this, I just knew that I was, gonna do something, so thank God this was it.
And you also mentioned prayer.
Yes.
So do you pray regularly?
Yes.
Is that part of your everyday routine?
Absolutely. I pray every day. I believe in God. I believe in the manifestation of prayer. I believe in putting that in the universe, those words in the universe where it's like, hey, I'm going to do this. I got this. I'm going to be, God, help me do this, So I believe in that. I believe that energy creates more greatness and more energy. So, and it gives you peace. It gives you inner peace, right? So you don't worry about the stresses of the world. You're always, that meditation, you're in that state of tranquility.
Yes, yes, and prayer is so effective. I often talk about a prayer and the power of prayer. But you said few different things that are so amazing for our audience and whoever is watching. You said you were back in Texas while other people were partying and doing different things. You were at the library studying. So I just want to highlight that part because nothing great ever happens for no reason. You have to be an expert. You have to know what you are doing, and you put in the work, and that's why the universe sent you back. So you had to be an expert in your field. Sylvester Stallone would never call you that you didn't really know what you were doing. So tell us a little bit about the importance of work behind just, the red carpets and the glamour. So how work ethic is important to you?
It's Hugh. You make such a good point right there, and I hope the listeners heard what you said, because this is a very important point. Is that to become an asset, not a liability. Like, the people that benefit others the most are going to have the greatest success in life. Like, if you can help others the most, you will always find greatness. You'll always find success. So to me, it's always being an asset to people, right? What value can I bring to others? That's what I've always started with. To be honest with you, I didn't care about the fame, the money, all that. To me, that was not even an option. To me, it was like, hey, how can I help people? Let me help people, and then let's see what happens. My goal from day one, my motto is always still on my website: change the world one body at a time. That's been my goal from day one. It was never about, I'm going to make a good living, or no, it was like, listen, I'm going to change the world one body at a time, and the rest will come. So it's about being an asset, not a liability, and allowing yourself to be an expert in your field. So knowledge is important. Information is important, right? If you attain knowledge, information, that's power, because that allows you to be more of an asset to people, right? And that belief in yourself allows you to manifest that more. So again, being an asset to people, helping people that way will allow you to, work harder because you want to be more of an asset, right? And then the second thing would be network. And that allows you to build a great network. It's true what they say when you were a kid, it's who you know, right? And it's more true in this town than anywhere else. It's like, but the way you get a good network, what you just said, is if you become an expert, people will reach out to you. You see, when people reach out to you, it's a different relationship. And then your network starts growing because you become that expert, that valuable MVP, we call it, right? The most valuable person to that field or whatever it is. Then more greatness will come. And I believe success breeds success. So the more success you have, the more success comes. Whatever that is, if it's manifestation, whatever you put out, if you put good in the universe, good will come back to you. I believe that.
Absolutely. And I think that most people struggle, our audience, and most people struggle because they rely on manifestation too much, and you have to do the work. And this is the part of our episode today, the goal setting and being very specific. And what you said, one body at a time, doing small little steps every day is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. So tell us a little bit, what projects are you working on right now?
I've got a lot of things in the pipeline. We've got new products coming out to help with health and fitness. I've got 2 new books coming out. We've got a TV series that I can't really talk about for Netflix coming out. We have some movies that we're working on, documentaries related to sports and health. So my goal has always been infotainment. Infotainment. It's just information with entertainment and informing people how to be their best self. And that's what it really boils down to, is how you can help people be their best. And whether that's through movies, TV shows, podcasts like this great one, other avenues, writing, blogs, whatever it is, social media, we want to put positivity out in the world. Right? There's so much negativity in the world. Everybody's trying to bring you down. But look, if you have a positive mindset, Colin Powell said that perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. So if you have a positive mindset, then positivity is attracted to you. And that allows you to be your greatest self, actually.
Absolutely. And what was the catalyst for you to go on this journey? Like back in, like when you were starting, was something that happened that when you said, I want to add value, I want to help people become a better version of themselves? How did that happen?
I think it was through my parents. I think being the son of immigrant parents who came to America with nothing, literally.
From where?
From India.
From India.
And yeah, so we came here and we basically had nothing. My dad always says, $400, 4 suitcases and 4 kids. That's how he showed up to America. And gave us a chance, gave us a chance to be successful. And, having that Indian Pakistani background, the South Asian background, taught us to be hustlers. So to me, I was taught work ethic at a very young age. I started working when I was 13 years old. I was a door-to-door salesman. at the age of 13, selling newspaper subscriptions to the worst neighborhoods in Houston, Texas. Like I learned sales quick, convincing people to buy something that they had no money for.
Do you remember anything specific that you learned from doing that as a kid?
Oh man, I learned so much. Absolutely. The best thing I learned, adding value, because if you ask someone for something, for example, in sales, right? If you say, hey, buy this, they're like, well, what do I get? So I learned that you have to give them what they want. See, people are out for themselves a lot. So you have to be like, okay, how do they benefit? So what I would say, they would say, $10 a month for subscription, that's too much money. I go, no, it's not too much money, because you get coupons and you get $30 with the coupons. So you actually make $20 every month if you sign up, right? So they were like, so I learned that lesson early is, look, you've gotta, whatever.
They have to have a benefit.
Yes,
that has to,
yes. It's got to benefit people because people want to benefit, right? So you got to show them how they win. See, if you help other people win, you'll win.
That is so true. That is so true. Who said that? Zig Ziglar?
Yes.
Give other people
you give people what they want, you'll get what you want.
You'll get what you want.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you moved to Los Angeles and you've been doing this research. You created these amazing products and you created these programs for all these celebrities. And you wrote 2 books already. And you came 2 more coming.
Yeah.
Incredible. So what is it that, besides adding value, specifically what makes you feel passionate about spreading the message of fitness and positivity and mindset? Why is that so important?
Because I think people are suffering out there. And I think many people are suffering because of their health. And it all relates, it's mind, body, soul, right? And if any of those are off, your life is going to be off. So to me, and the thing is, I experienced so many transformations working with people and seeing the joy in their faces. When you see someone who is 60 pounds lighter, right? Imagine just dropping 60 pounds. Your whole life changes. The way people look at you, your mindset, your work, everything changes. So when I started seeing those results, that's what started driving me. I was like, wow. And to get those notes and to get those messages from people that are like, wow, I was on the verge of a heart attack. And now I'm living my best life. My kids, everything's better, And I'll give you a specific example. One of my clients, Forrest Whitaker, Oscar-winning actor, was for the last King of Scotland. He was over 300 pounds, and his health was suffering. He was a vegan also. So he had a lot of challenges of eating the right foods. Over 300 pounds, he was suffering. His health was suffering. We dropped 60 pounds. Guess what? His whole life changed. And he became a better actor, better father, better everything. So that's the kind of thing that kind of motivates me to be more driven, to help more people, because I want to see people win. I really do, genuinely.
And most people do not understand, who struggle, that relationship between mind and body. And I speak from a personal experience because I was diagnosed with depression and insomnia. That's how I started my fitness journey. And I used to teach fitness here in Los Angeles, Pilates and cardio and yoga. I was struggling and I couldn't sleep. I also had insomnia. And one of my mom's friends, doctors, whatever, cardiologists, he said, tell Anna to run. She needs to run, because I was a gymnast when I was a little girl. And I was like, what does that have to do with my depression? When you don't know anything about mind-body connection. And I started running because I was hurting and my entire life changed. And I was like, this is amazing. Everybody should know this, that whatever you do, marketing expert or executive or you're a writer or whatever, you need to have a physical exercise in your life. And it's so important. It's really great that you're spreading that message. And does anything come from India? Do you practice yoga or any of these
I love yoga. I love breath work.
Do you practice?
I practice every day. Absolutely.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely. I think breath work is hugely important, especially for stress relief, endorphins, catecholamines. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in your brain, and it's amazing. You shared your story too. I mean, you look in incredible shape, so something's working, right? That's great. But but you hit the nail on the head. I mean, if your body isn't right, everything is off. And action creates happiness. Okay, but people always, they did a study looking at what makes people happy, right? They studied a lot of people, thousands of people. And it's a pretty famous study, and they showed that there's 2 things that make people happy the most. And one is progress, means action, improving every day, and gratitude. So the 2 things you got to have is progress and gratitude, where you said the work ethic, all that stuff. You have to take action every day, take massive action every day, even if it's a small thing, because it allows you to create peace inside, happiness. Progress creates happiness. So, and being grateful also for where you're at. People are too hard on themselves sometimes. Even in the fitness world, what I've seen is some people are like, I'm just, my body is what it is. I can't, And it's like that causes depression.
It's a limiting belief.
Absolutely. So when you have a limiting belief, you're not going to go anywhere. It's like I always say, it's like walking with a wall in front of you.
Yeah.
Like you always see a wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't see a wall. I see the sun. I see the universe. I'm like, this is abundance mindset. You know, we have like so many people have achieved so many things, right? So we're like, man, anybody can do anything. Look at this town. Look how many people. Look at you. Look at me. People came here with nothing, achieved some greatness. It happens every day. So anything is possible, and I tell people that all the time.
That's how I came with $1,000 to New York City that I borrowed from my sister, and I slept in church. In our church in Manhattan. So that's how I started. I literally slept in church, just FYI. But when you have the vision, when you know that you can add value, there's something stronger beyond your intellectual reasoning mind that it just keeps you pushing forward. And you said something really great. Tell us a little bit about benefits of breath work.
I think the main benefits are lowering cortisol, the stress hormone. I think because of our busy world, because we're always under light, under these rectangular tablets that are influencing our day, the most people wake up and what's the first thing they do? Phone, right? And they let the phone dictate their day. Could you imagine, like, if I was thinking about this, I was like thinking about the days before cell phones. Imagine if your mom or dad came into your room right when you're waking up and said, hey, oh my God, there's an earthquake here. There's this going on. Oh my, they told you like 10 different things. You'd be like,
you're
what?
immediately in a reactive state.
You'd be like, you wake up with that high stress.
Cortisol and adrenaline.
Yes, you'd be waking up like, what? But we're doing that every single day to our brains. Literally every day we're letting this dictate our day. So I don't do that. I don't even look at my phone for the first hour I wake up.
So what is your morning routine? Tell us.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, great question. So I always wake up first. I pray. I do some exercise, which is basically either yoga or some cardiovascular work. I go for a walk for 30 to 35 minutes with a cup of coffee, of course, first, obviously, and a lot of water. And then breath work for 15 to 20 minutes, always. Tranquility. And then I do manifestation. I look in the mirror and I literally say, today I'm going to achieve greatness today. I'm going to help the most people today. I'm going to be the best. Whatever it is, the manifestations every day. And then the last thing I do is I write in my gratitude journal all the things I'm grateful for. I make a list, like handwriting, not like on the phone. I'm talking about like handwriting. And then when I do that, then I start my day. Then I grab my phone and then I start my day.
This is amazing. So all these you combine. That's a great, excellent morning routine. And you did it every day.
Every day for the last probably 20 years. I've been pretty consistent. People don't, it's not fancy. People are like, oh, do you do some, some secret? I'm like, nah, just being consistent, doing it day to day and making it work.
And you have to do it. So welcome to today's segment. So before we begin, I invite you to settle yourself in a comfortable space. This time is dedicated to you. So put aside any distractions. Turn off your notifications, resist the urge to check your social media, and really prepare to focus on yourself for the next few moments. Grab your journal and let's get started. The first step in our process is to get clear on our different goals and ambitions. These can span across various aspects of our lives: our homes, relationships, careers, the city we want to live in, our children, hobbies, social life, our health, personal growth, education, and really the possibilities are endless. So take a moment now to pause this video. Do it right now, not later, not tomorrow. Do it now. Pause the video and write down a list of your personal goals. Welcome back. So now that you have the list, it's time to prioritize. Remember, our priorities will naturally evolve and change as we move through different stages of our lives, and that's totally okay. So what's important now is to articulate and get clear on what matters the most to you right now. From your list, choose the top 3 goals you want to achieve this year, and you want to focus all your energy on these 3 goals at this very moment in your life. It doesn't matter what others think. This is about what you want. After all, doing what makes you happy will actually help you show up as your best self every day and improve the lives of those around you. So when you have these 3 top goals, pause the video again and write down why you want these goals right now. When you know why you're doing something, the how becomes so much easier. With our priorities set, it's time to take action. Consider what you can do today to move closer to these goals. The smallest little action that you can do today. Focus on small actions daily. Focus on time management, set healthy boundaries, communicate your needs, delegate tasks when necessary, and don't hesitate to seek support. That is so important. By getting creative with your approach, you can make true progress. We are looking for progress, not perfection. Pause the episode again and use this time to journal specific actions that you can take today to prioritize these 3 top goals. Remember, goal setting is an ongoing process. Continue making these lists as you achieve some of these goals. Reevaluate them, adapt your priorities as your life changes. Progress happens one step at a time, day by day and minute by minute. So thank you for being on this journey with me, sending you all my love and keep moving forward. So how do you stay consistent? Because I think most people struggle with consistency. How do you do that? How do you train yourself? Do you have an evening routine too?
It varies every day because my work is so sporadic. But I think the most important thing to maintain that is goal setting. I think goal setting is one of the most important ways to build momentum, to continue with your morning routine or whatever routine you're doing. Because the thing is, if you don't have goals, you're really aimless. Because I always say this, I go, when you go in your car, do you just start driving? No, you have a destination. You have a map that takes you there. You have a specific route, right? You have a goal. You have
intention.
Intention.
Yeah.
You're moving. Okay, I have to get to this place by this time, right? And that's what allows you to get there, right?
Exactly.
Imagine saying, let's just get in your car and start driving. You're just driving. Okay, well, where are you going?
Well, you're wasting gas, you're wasting money.
You're wasting time, gas, LA traffic, your mental health is an issue.
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
So having a goal, how often do you set your goals?
I think people should set goals short and long term. We call it micro and macro. So everyone should have, because people, again, also set goals that are very general, right? And I think it's very important to set very specific goals. So have micro goals and macro goals. What I mean by that is micro goals means today I'm going to do these 6 things and I'm going to achieve them. And then at the end of the day, I hold myself accountable, right? I look and I say, okay, did I get all these things done? Oh, no, I didn't. Then I do better the next day. And then I have macro goals, which is like, okay, 3 months from now, I want to do this. 1 year from now, I want to do this. 5 years from now, I want to do this. I actually have 10-year goals. Like that's how far I go, about 10 years. And I want to have those specific goals. I've done that forever. And I think that goal setting is very important because I think people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. You see, so I think it's very important to set goals because that gives you consistency. It's like with fitness, right? When I do these transformation programs, for example, when I was working with Hugh Jackman for Wolverine, right? There was a deadline. Okay, the movie shoot is this date. We have 3 months. You got to get in peak shape. So that was a motivation. We had a goal. We had a very specific goal. And again, fitness, for example, I say to people, don't just say, I want to look better. That's not really a goal. A goal is, hey, I want to be 128 pounds. I want to be 6% body fat. And I want to have this strength level and this. So it's very specific. And that's very important because if you generalize, how are you going to hold yourself accountable at the end?
Specificity.
Yes.
Measurable, specific, time bound. But what would you say to somebody who struggles? They're overweight. They're 100 pounds overweight. And they cannot make themselves exercise. They simply cannot do. What would you tell them?
What I would tell them is the great quote of Winston Churchill that said that success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. And what I mean by that is to get started and keep going. So the most important thing I would tell them is that do something, whatever it is. If it's one, like I had a client literally who was about 350 pounds, same situation, completely hopeless. He said, I can't do anything. I can't even walk my leg. I said, listen, can you do 1 push-up a day on your knees? And and he did it. I go, just do 1 push-up a day. He said, that's it? He goes, yeah, just do that. So every day for a week, he did 1 push-up. And then guess what the next week was? 3 push-ups. And guess what the week after that was? Walking. And so he built momentum because he took action. So the most important thing for people who are struggling out there is to take action. I don't care if that's going down your steps and coming back up. I don't care if it's walking for 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 1 push-up a day, right? It's taking action and being consistent in that action. One of my sayings is consistent persistence. That's one of the keys to success.
You said so many brilliant things right now. I'm just going to circle out on one, and that is one of my favorite books by BJ Fogg, Tiny Habits. And he says that most people fail because they start too big. It's unrealistic. Start with 1 push-up, because the biggest takeaway from that book is feeling successful is actually the biggest component in wiring the new habit in your brain, that you feel like you can actually do it. And most people start too big and then they feel like a failure, so they don't want to go back there. The brain doesn't want to. So when you feel like a success, if you do 1 push-up, you say, I can do this. This is easy. And then you show up the next day. And that is the most important thing. So start small and keep going and keep adding up. So that's the first mistake. And then another thing, consistency. And BJ Fogg, I recommend that book to everybody. Tiny Habits, brilliant. He started with doing 2 wall push-ups
It's
a
a
day.
great book, yeah.
Every time when he flushes the toilet, 2 wall push-ups. He's just, I feel great. I can do this.
Achievement.
Yes.
He has achievement. See, achievement keeps building.
And feeling like, yeah, this is easy, because most people want to go 5 days. They didn't go to the gym 30 years and then they want to go 5 days a week for 1 hour and do 3 reps of 100 push-ups. And you literally cannot do that. And you feel like a loser and you never want to go back. Like, this is hard. So set yourself up for success by starting small. And how do you become so specific when you set your goal? Instead of broad, I just want to look better, feel better, to lose 100 pounds for the next 3 months and 7% lean body fat, whatever. So how can somebody narrow down and create that really specific goal for themselves?
I would say it's always customization is what I believe. And I think everybody is different. You are a one of one. I'm a one of one. Everybody is genetically and as a human different. So I think everybody should have their own personal goals of what they want to achieve. And I think to set the goals, we set it in a way based on experience of 25 years, of 30 years of doing it, is we say, okay, here's what's achievable for you based on your situation, your lifestyle, the amount of time you can commit to this. Here's a realistic goal in 3 months. Okay, and then we get specific based on that. And then we list that goal. And then the most important thing I always tell people is, even, of course you have to have goals, but start. Just start. Like you were just saying, action is so important, because like Muhammad Ali said, it's not the mountain ahead of you, it's the pebble in your shoe. The little excuses, the little, I can't, I don't have time. The number one excuse I get for fitness always, I don't have time. And then when I break down someone's day, I'm like, you have so much time. You have hours in the year. What are you doing? This is crazy. You're Netflix and chilling. I mean, this is nuts. Come on, you have time. So, and I literally work with some of the busiest people on earth. I'm talking about like maybe like some of my clients are the top 10 richest in the world. You don't think they're busy? They do it. You know, so if they can do it, you can do it. Yeah, that's for sure.
Because it's not just fitness; it's life.
Absolutely,
it's everything. Do you do any type of meditation?
Oh, every day.
What kind of meditation do you recommend for our audience?
I do a spiritual type meditation where I connect with the universe and connect with God, and basically I do breathing exercises during that meditation and prayers. It's all kind of combined. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I combine prayers, meditation, breathing, all kind of in one thing. And I just basically allow myself to have that inner peace. See, if you have turbulence inside, you're not going to be successful outside.
And it's so important when you align yourself from the inside, you're so much better for everyone around you, for your family, for your children, for your spouses, for everybody. It's a ripple effect. You're literally making the entire world better when you are better. Yes.
I will say, even in relationships, I say, look, you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself first.
Absolutely.
You can't.
So true.
It's not possible.
True.
So you got to work on yourself. Self-work is the most important thing, and that's the biggest investment. I always say this when people say, oh, it's too expensive, I go, listen, the most important investment you'll ever make in your life is on you. Mm-hmm. You only have one of you. You only have one body. And health is the real wealth.
And this is what this is why I created a show. I want to help people. I learned this from yogic philosophy, to turn inside for all the answers. We've been conditioned since young age to look outside for approval. What does my teacher think? What do my parents think? Am I smart? Did I fail? Did I pass? So we are constantly looking outside for validation. And actually, the only person that you need to convince that you can do something is yourself.
For sure.
Your own subconscious mind. And I really want to encourage our audience to look for everything inside. And we've been conditioned also to please everyone else, our parents' dreams, our spouse's dreams, but to look inside with your own heart and connect with yourself is the biggest gift you can give to yourself and the people around you. So it's not selfish, it's actually paramount. It is the starting point.
I say it's self-full.
Exactly. It's self-full. Yes, it's self-full.
Because if you're fulfilled inside, you're going to fulfill everybody else outside.
Okay, if you can describe yourself in 3 words, what would you say?
I would say giving, dynamic, and happy.
Yeah, that's it. One thing that people don't know about you.
I do eat some junk food here and there. People think I have a very strict diet forever. No, I'll get the Dairy Queen Blizzard, I'll get some ice cream, I'll get some pizza. Once in a while, we'll eat junk food. So,
well, you can, because I also know J-Lo. You know, Ben Affleck, when he was married to her, he says she eats cookies and ice cream because she trains so much. Right. And you can. Tom Brady also, you know, when he films his videos, he says, these donuts I'm going to eat when the cameras are off. So amazing. And then how do you define success?
That's an amazing question. I just did another interview previously that they asked the same question. And I think success is defined in 3 areas: mind, body, soul. I think that success is if you have your mind under control, if you're an expert at something, if you're an asset to people, if your soul is in alignment with God, with the universe, I believe that you'll have inner peace. And body, if your body is right, and you're healthy and you're fit and you're taking action for your body, I think that's the real success. Because Gandhi said that health is a real wealth, not pieces of gold and silver. And so I think that's how I define success. And I think if you have those 3 areas of success, then everything else will be successful. Money, family, everything else will be successful if your mind, body, and soul is successful. So I define success as having your mind, body, and soul at the highest level.
Incredible. You can say, what book would you recommend to our audience to read?
Oh man, I mean, of course, As a Man Thinketh, by James Allen is one of the best books of all time. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Tony Robbins' books are amazing. Stephen Covey's books are also very good. The Habits of Highly Effective People.
Amazing.
So those are some of the books my foundation of knowledge.
Your teachings,
Yes.
of what you actually teach your
Absolutely.
clients. So you train A-list celebrities in Hollywood, and and you keep doing it, and you've been doing it for so many years. Amazing show on CBS, by the way. I hope our audience is going to listen to it. Can you tell us just really quickly about the show? When is it on? When our audience can
Sure,
tune in?
absolutely. It's going to be on 93.1 CBS Radio. It's the LA Rams station, and it's basically called the Celebrity Power Hour. So it's a show about positivity, inspiration, motivation, perspiration. It's about getting some of my celebrity clients on, having people that are business leaders on, having health and fitness experts on, medical experts on, to basically, again, be an asset, to just help people get good information, get motivated, get inspired, and to spread good knowledge and all that.
And one last question. If somebody out there is uncertain about their life purpose, they're confused, they don't know where to start, what would you tell them?
I would say the most important thing to do first is get your health right. Number one, is just take massive action, as we discussed. Do something. Okay, whatever that is, read a book, take action, even if it's the smallest action. We celebrate tiny wins. See, people always get caught up in, oh, I didn't get that. It's like, yeah, but you got this. Like, if you have a gratitude mindset, number one, and then if you take action, any small action will allow you to get to your goal.
And this is so great what you said, read the book or whatever. I also want to say this, we tend to say this, take massive action, and I say this is also on my show, but I also want to tell you, some people get paralyzed by that, like massive action. What should I do now? Take any small action every day, even reading a book. This is so important because every new information that you learn changes your gray matter in your brain. Literally, you are shaping your brain differently just by reading new information. And since your world is the reflection of what's happening in here, you need to build some concepts in here in order to change your reality. So instead of trying to change the circumstance, get new information, read, do the research, change how you feel by doing the exercise, doing the work, get new information, new concepts, and your reality will change, a byproduct of your inner world changing. So stay on this path. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Keep shining. This is amazing, actually.
You're a perfect guest for our show. Absolutely perfect. So thank you so much. I'm so honored to have you here. I hope our audience got a ton of valuable content. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much. And take action. Take action. Let's go.
Let's go. Yes. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. This is such an exciting episode packed with valuable information. And remember to keep taking action every day. Even the smallest action really matters and makes the difference. We are here with you on this journey. So grateful for your energy and time. Have an amazing, successful week, and we'll see you next time.